As I was preparing for this panel, the word that really came out to me was opportunity. I don't need to tell all of you that photography is at an all-time high. I don't need to tell all of you that there are more pictures being taken now than ever. And I don't need to tell you that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We also know that there has been some challenges. And what I really like about this panel that we've assembled right here, these young guns, is that they are seizing that opportunity and they all are being extremely successful within their businesses. So let's get started with the discussion. And before we get started, I'm going to introduce everyone. Right here in the far left, we have Mat Inkley from the Imaging Depot in Utah. Right here directly to my left is Ryan Millman with Nation's Foto Lab and Artsy Couture based in Maryland. To my right, this handsome gentleman from Grand Rapids, Michigan is Toren Prawdzik from Foto Evo and Allied Imaging. And last but not least, on the far right, we have Wendi Speiss. She is the founder of Photo Crush and of Scout. It's a creative agency from Portland, Oregon. Let's welcome her. So let's get started. Let's start with you, Ryan. 1999, you start Yearbook.com. 2005, you start Nation's Foto Lab. 2010, you start Artsy Couture. You've approached this industry with an entrepreneurial spirit. Tell me a little bit about the opportunity that you saw entering this industry.
Thanks. Well, I never thought I was going to be in the photography industry. Let me give you a quick backstory. In 1999, I was in college, and instead of paying attention to the classroom and the teachers, I was in the back writing business plans. And somehow I came up with the idea to start a school portrait business pretty early on in digital. Started with one college, expanded to over 500 universities. From there, I brought in all my fulfillment in-house, started Nation's Foto Lab 6 years ago. Was fortunate enough to grow into one of the largest professional labs, and just recently started Artsy Couture, which is extremely exciting. Is that better? So from Yearbook, expanding to 500 universities, my school portrait business, I started Nation's Foto Lab. When I brought in production in-house, we're one of the largest professional labs in the U.S. in just 6 short years. And recently started Artsy Couture, which has some of the most exciting, unique products we manufacture both in the U.S. and in Europe. The reason that I'm excited and the reason I got into this industry is when I look at it, there's a lot of dollars in this business. And you got to go out there and fight for it. You got to fight for what's yours. We're all competing, but it's a big marketplace. And the strong will survive, and that's what got me excited, and that's what keeps me going.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit more about the opportunity and what you did with the Greek Yearbook and how that folded into Nation's Foto Lab.
Yeah, well, I started just with one college and one organization taking school pictures, and the model was really what I focused on. The model worked. When I figured out how to make money shooting one fraternity or sorority at one college, I said, wow, this is great. What happens when I multiply it by X? And I was able to multiply it to over 500 universities. On the day I brought in my fulfillment in-house, I got my first photo printer. It was a Naritsu, and I said, wow, this thing's great, but we can do more as a company. And I started with one account and built it up to 100,000+ customers across the country, mostly professional photographers and large corporations, and just continue to grow and seize the opportunities. But from there, what I'm really excited about now is the Artsy Couture brand, and we'll be exhibiting here at the convention. But we've got to come out with exciting new wow products. We've got to keep customers excited about photo, and that's what we provide under Artsy Couture. They're unique products. We're the only company in the world that manufactures these, and it's been tremendous for us. As a lab, we grew over 50% our sales just last year alone. We've got about 150 employees full-time, and we're really chugging. So I'm an eternal optimist right now.
So 50% growth, obviously, that's huge right there. Wendi, when you got into this industry, I know you wanted to present some wow as it relates to creativity. So what was the opportunity, the market that you identified that you could penetrate?
Well, we started out in our creative agency works with major entertainment brands like HP, Sega, Disney, DreamWorks. And what we realized early on is that when you can help people be creative with their technology, their loyalty and their purchase power and everything else just, grows exponentially because you have created a community and you've taught them to fish. And that, as we know, as everyone in this room knows, once you're successful creatively, which a lot of people find intimidating, you don't want to let that go. You want to keep that, you want to have that feeling over and over again. So Photo Crush I created out of that genesis and that idea. And I feel like, given the consumer marketing background that we had, I saw everybody kind of run in this direction. Am I echoing? Is that me? Sorry, excuse me. And we ran in the other direction because what I learned was, we've been very arrogant as businesses and marketing industry and talking at people and trying to treat people like a mess. And what we're really good at is looking at those subcultures, those very passionate communities who what they love is already based on a narrative. Photo is a narrative. Photo products can be narrative and emotive too. So, for example, the photo taking mom is great and I love her, but a fashion girl who's out there every day taking pictures of herself and her friends and blogging it. I mean, there are fashion blog conventions now, and they're sharing. And the music industry is the same way. A song is a poem, and it's a narrative. Imagine giving them that art. In fact, you saw the girl with the burgundy wings. That card was done in honor of Nirvana's 20th anniversary of Nevermind. And that kind of art and using that kind of inspiration, like music or fashion or entertainment, there's nothing like it. And when you can dip into those communities and be authentic and listen to what they want and what's interesting to them, that's where the growth of the market is. Why are we going after the same 20% with the same looking art, with the same kind of motivation? I mean, even that photo-taking mom, I'm telling you, one day, Martha Stewart, the next day, a little sex kitten maybe. She is a multifaceted, amazingly interesting person. And so we go at this really trying to understand all of those aspects and bringing truth and emotion to the art. And that's what really resonates with people. In fact, our cards for Beyonce and Jay-Z got featured in People magazine yesterday. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you. Yeah. Yay for all of us. So we're going after those influencers of pop culture in addition to the retail line, because I still think there's room to grow there too.
I want to come back to you in a little bit and talk a little bit more about customers and how you're engaging that subculture. But with both Matt and Toren, now they're talking about growth. A lot of the growth is primarily online. You guys both focus in retail right now. So I'm curious, and either of you can take this right now, as they talk about the growth opportunities they saw online, what did you see in retail?
Well, I saw a lot of the same things that Wendi had just said. It is very important for us to be able to take and help that customer understand everything that they can do. And to allow them to come in, be a part of the process in an environment that is very welcoming, that is set up in a way that anywhere from a high school senior to be able to take their creativity as well as grandma and hold their hand all the way through the process and let them tell us what it is that they want. There's elements about the way that we have set up, giving the consumer the full control instead of us as a business owner saying this is what you want and you have to live within these rules.
Tell me a little bit about the Imaging Depot and how you do that there.
Well, we believe in three principles where it's very, very important for us to give the customer that choice. Like I said before, we can't tell the customer what it is that they want. They need to have the choice, whether it's done in red or blue or black or whatever it is. They want to be in control. The other thing is that it's got to be easy. And this last holiday season proved that. If it's not easy for a customer to make a purchase or to develop a product, they're not going to do it. They're going to follow that path of least resistance. And so it's got to be easy. And then ultimately, it's those two, the choice and the convenience to allow them to be in control and not to be a production-driven company, but a sales-driven company and helping them to ultimately unleash their creative inner.
And Toren, how are you doing that with Photo Evo and engaging those customers when they come in?
Well, I think Matt hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's not a commodity-driven business model anymore. It's an experience. These people are not just coming in to buy a print and get it now and just get it cheap and get it quick. They're coming in, they want to experience it. They want to be part of the process. They want to learn from it. It takes time, it takes quality, and they want to have this experience when they come in. And that's where it's at now is, when we did with Foto, we're new in the retail industry. I mean, we had the pro shop since 52, but now we're just in the retail side. Getting that exposure, we decided to not go fast, not go cheap. Our prices are 60% higher than our pro side. I mean, they're expensive, but people are driven there because when they come in, they get a full experience. They're not just coming in, hitting a kiosk, printing a button, and getting print out. They're coming in, they're getting attention, they're getting somebody that's giving them attention, saying, hey, here's what you can do with this. Let's show you a few things on this computer over here. Let's talk about some options for mounting stuff, for framing stuff, for printing stuff. Let's talk about different substrates. Let's talk about this. And they're getting a full body experience when they walk in that store. It's not just hey, how many 4x6s do you want? See you later. So it all comes down to the experience. People nowadays want to be part of the process. They don't just want to print it and walk away.
Wendi, let's get specific. How do you wow your customers with Photo Crush?
Well, it's harder work. I mean, I think this industry started with almost a clip art-like mentality approach to the art. And from what I understand from a historian of the business that I talked to once, they even got it for free, the retailers did. I think that they focused on the media and the money from the media. And then when things got desperate, when this customer finally got amazingly creative and technology online made that easier and more pervasive, they stopped getting the free art. My retailers didn't. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to reach out and really, find a way of connecting with those consumers. So, we're doing it in a couple of different ways, I think. One is, like I said, to go in, people always ask me about social networking because it's just a huge part. And the mistake you make is thinking that you can talk at them from your Twitter or your blog or whatever. But the trick is you go into their blogs. You start conversations up that they're interested in. You become part of their community. And like any other kind of relationship that you have, once you've established like-minded thought process, then you bring them along with you.
How do you identify these influencers that you're talking about?
Oh gosh, it's easy. I mean, it's a little bit of a study, but the fashion bloggers, for example, you go out there and it's easy to find the top, most influential bloggers. They're almost as important as Jay-Z and Beyonce and how they influence those communities. A lot of times what we do too, because I really believe if you're not thinking globally about this market, you're nuts. And not only that, a mashup of all those things is important.
Well, I come from a little different viewpoint, is that, we've tried to go national with our retail entity. We've tried to sponsor photographers. We've gone to the big shows. And what we're seeing is a bigger turnaround on a local aspect, local and regional aspect, bringing a hard brick and mortar store. We're getting more dividends with that than we ever did going to the huge trade shows. They're putting a website online. I mean, obviously it's easy to pump up a website and stick it online and go, hope it works. But it doesn't necessarily work all the time. We don't have the marketing power in HP or Snapfish or Shutterfly and all those guys. So we're concentrating more on a local, regional aspect, and with zero marketing dollars. I mean, absolutely zero, not a freaking dime. We're having success.
What are you doing?
Basically, it's all word of mouth. We're creating that experience. I get people coming in every day that are coming in and going, hey, a friend of my friend said I got to come in here. They don't even know what they're coming in for. They're coming in and go, hey, we got to see what's going on in here. I was told to come in here. And it's spreading through the local environment. But without that storefront, we're just another online entity. It doesn't have the same impact.
When a customer walks in the door, they need to be comfortable. They need to be able to be offered a drink while they're enjoying their time there. They need to come in and not be intimidated. They need to feel like they're being listened to. I think so many times in business, in the shopping experience, people are talked at, not listened to, and that's one thing that we try to instill in all of our employees is is the importance of just listening for a minute and being able to understand what it is that the customer wants, but then also give them the opportunity to take their ideas and figure out the right solution for them. The same solution doesn't fit everybody, and so we have to be able to be the expert, be the solution provider, and then help them along the way.
And without having the marketing dollars of a Shutterfly or an HP, I'm proof of that. I started Nation's Photo Lab on a $200 a month marketing budget, and I grew that to a 7-figure marketing budget in 5 years. And the way I did it was focus on your marketing. You got to analyze every single type of marketing you do. You got to analyze it really closely. Is it working? I had a try anything once philosophy. I'd put $100 into this campaign. If it didn't work, I didn't do it again. But I had no choice with a very small budget. When I started Nation's Photo Lab, I put $500 in a checking account and I never looked back. I had to make sure the dollars I had a strong return on my investment. And as it grew, I was able to expand my marketing. We would do creative things. You got to think outside the box. Where are your customers looking? I told my marketing team, call all the eBay power sellers selling cameras, battery packs, lighting. Partner with them. Send them a free gift card just to put into each of their auctions, everything that they sell. Someone buys a camera, you get a $50 gift card to Nation's Photo Lab. The cost to acquire that customer was the cheapest of any campaign we've ever done because it was a $50 print order. We all know what that costs. And we were getting thousands of these out in the mail, every month through some of these power sellers. That's just one thing we did. We would contact camera clubs. You'd be surprised how few people have actually... The camera club said, wow, you're the first person to ever contact me. I mean, these camera clubs are everywhere. There's thousands of them. We work through them. And there's so many things you can do. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need a huge budget. But what you do need to do is you need to be analytical. You need to look at what's working. You need to test. If you're not doing anything, you need to do more, but you've got to put your money in the right places. And I can tell you there are a lot of marketing places that competitors of mine and people in this industry are doing, and it just doesn't work. And you don't know it doesn't work because you're not tracking it. You got to be able to track and analyze.
One thing just to add to that is I completely agree. It's got to be outside the box. Traditional advertising methods don't work the way that they did in years past. And the things that we see the best results from are the ones that are the most creative. Taking it to the clubs or getting involved in the community events and all of those types of efforts generate much, much better results than putting an ad in the newspaper.
Yeah, actually, literally, we're 4 months into this retail process. We started out with a concept store. We had a theory that there was a gap, that there was plenty of quick and cheap processes, there was plenty of online processes, but there wasn't anybody that was a helpful storefront with a little higher quality product. So we went in with that product and just basically, everybody that came in, they were our main customer. That was the person. That was our central focus. And as that grew, it started to expand. And we started getting people coming from an hour and a half away, driving to the store, strictly to come in and get help because they could not find it anywhere else. The storefront and how it looks and whether it's pretty or not pretty is indifferent. It all comes down to that staff that's in there being helpful and giving these people the Starbucks experience. These people come in because they're important when they come in. They're not just a number or just somebody who's getting 4x6s. They're somebody who's coming in and they're a friend, they're a family member, they're an important person coming into our storefront. So that's what we're really promoting that. And through West Michigan's a real family-oriented, conservative area. Pictures are real important for people in West Michigan. And so as this word spreads, became a locale where they could get a little better product, a little better service, a little better something, a little pat on the back, whether that print was going to look good at 20 by 24. They didn't get that anywhere else. They couldn't get that answer anywhere. Now they have it, and they're eating it up.
Are we looking at just a fixed market right now where you're basically trying to eat his lunch, her lunch, and his lunch, or are there other opportunities for expansion and for growth?
Well, the truth of the matter is not everybody in this room is going to be here next year, and that's the sad truth. the market's been declining, and I don't think there's necessarily anything any one of us can do to change that. But it's a big market, and there is a lot of opportunity, and there is a lot of exciting new products coming out, and that's kind of the charge that we're looking to lead with our Artsy Couture brand. Is when we launched it last year at Foto Plus, I've never seen so much enthusiasm out of customers of any imaging product ever. And we all thought photo books was going to be the next great thing. It's been an extreme challenge with photo books. They're hard to make. They take a long time. The bounce rates are huge. But there are new products coming out. If you're not the one selling them, your competitors will be. You've got to get products that really excite customers, that get them excited. Wall decor, home decor is really, really popular. It's not trendy. It's a functional product. I love the soccer mom market. They're the ones chasing their kids around. They're the ones that want prints, and they want to do fun things with prints. And that's, like I said, if you're not the ones with the new products, you're going to be competing against them, and it's going to be tough.
The reinvention of it, me as a small little retailer, I have to be light on my feet. You asked the question just a minute ago, is there opportunity in this market? And I say with 100% confidence, yes. But we have to think of it different. The title of the session is "It's Not Your Father's Business Anymore." If we were to do things the same way that my family and my dad had done things 50 years ago, we wouldn't have made it through our first 12 months. It's thinking outside that box. It's giving a breath of fresh air into the way that we do things. We hear all the stats. There's more pictures being taken today than ever before. But like Wendi just said, it's helping them do something with those images, teaching them all of the things that can be done. It's enabling the customers that know what they want. They just don't know how to do it. And it's that element. So for us, specifically in the next 6 months, but for the entire year, education is a big, big push for us.
This is my question for all of you. I want to go down the line real quick. You're all entrepreneurs. For that young entrepreneur that may be in this audience right now who's thinking about entering the photo industry, or that business owner who's been in this industry for a really long time that needs to reinvent, what are you most excited about moving forward for them and for yourself, just briefly?
I think that the sheer opportunity with the technology, and it is a technology business. Here we are at CES. We've got to rethink the way that we do things, but in taking advantage of all the really fun things that are out there, and being able to capture that ability or that capability to give a person what it is that they want. So for me, I think it'd be taking advantage of the technology and making sure that we're light enough to be able to navigate wherever that product takes us.
Right.
What I'm most excited about is every single person in this room can grow their business in 2012. Every single person here can do it. You've got to go out there and fight for it. You've got to fight with your suppliers. You've got to fight for your marketing model to work. You've got to reinvent yourself so you match up with what, so your customers feel like you're the right place for them. You've got to go out there and do it. You can do it. There's a lot of dollars in this business. If you're a drugstore or a local store, whatever you are, you don't have to be the way you were 20 years ago. You do have to reinvent yourself. There's a lot of new exciting products. I'm most excited for the Artsy Couture products for y'all to come see me at my booth. But there is a ton of opportunity, and I'd love to talk to you guys more about it.
Toren, what are you excited about moving forward?
Somebody hit on it and said, what would you advise someone coming into this industry? And I'm excited for the opportunity for people to network, honestly. There's great opportunity in this business. There's all kinds of different market avenues. But you look at like PMA, and some of these guys know me from Pro Imaging Golf Championship out there. There are opportunities to shake a hand, to meet other people who are in your industry. They're not enemies. No one's enemies of everybody else. Everybody needs to work together, share ideas, share concepts, share camaraderie, share the pains. If you're having trouble, share it. Let somebody go, yeah, you know what, me too. I kind of got stuck by that. This whole PMA is a great opportunity to share and kind of commiserate in some cases, but then also share the winning experience when you become successful. That kind of networking is priceless in this industry, sharing those ideas. That's what I like.
Absolutely.
I believe, I really agree with Matt. Well, I agree with everybody. But, and kind of getting back to those retailers, when I challenged Ralph about the 3-cent print, and he said, Wendi, because we don't want to do that either. It's just what we know. And so the agility, think Muhammad Ali. I want you to think like you're going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And move with let the current of the pop cultural trends in the market, help guide your direction. Use your instinct. I have a little party trick because I've been doing marketing forever, but everyone's so concerned about those click rates and the numbers, and intuitively I can build a campaign and then use those numbers to prove to them why it'll work. Use that instinct, and that instinct comes from what you love. Start there, and that's what I would say. And the thing is about the people who are coming now, they're like me. They don't have years in this experience. They're too stupid and fearless to worry about all those old parameters. So, earlier when, they were talking about being brave, don't be reckless, but be fearless. And that's not motivational. That's a gospel I live by, because, I agree with Ryan. If you walk up there and you walk like you're $1 million, people start to believe you're $1 million. And I think it's just that confidence. And people are looking for those to help them be just as confident and creative and understand, what they really love better. Photo, there's no end to possibility.
Well, I think that was a great wrap-up. I want to thank all of you and thank our panelists here, Mat Inkley, Ryan Millman, Toren Prawdzik, and Wendi Speiss, and thank all of you for joining us here. I hope this was extremely helpful for all of you. Thank these guys.